I grew up in a wealthy family. To protect me, my mother adopted and trained 10 orphan girls from childhood to be my personal bodyguards. When I came of age, my mother told me to choose one of them as my wife. Without hesitation, I chose Sarah, the leader of the 10, the woman I had secretly loved for years. After we were married, I was kidnapped by a rival family. They strung me up in a flooding cell, iron chains biting through my collarbones. With my last ounce of strength, I managed to call Sarah for help. All I heard was her cold, mocking laugh. "Stop playing games, Damien. Your tracker clearly shows you're still at the villa. You'd sink to such a pathetic trick just to keep me from spending time with Leo." Despair washed over me as I listened to her heartless voice. The water rose, covering my mouth, my nose. Then, everything went black. I woke with a gasp. I was back on the day my mother told me to choose a wife. Staring at the 10 photographs spread before me, I knew I had been reborn. This time, my finger didn't hesitate. It landed on the very last photo, the one that was always overlooked. Phoebe. My mother raised an eyebrow. "I thought you've always favored Sarah. Why choose the 10th? I just shook my head, saying nothing. In my mind, I could still see Phoebe's frantic expression as she rushed to my side in my past life. Could still hear her final, desperate scream. Thankfully, my mother didn't press the issue. She simply nodded in agreement. Leaving her study, I walked out into the villa's courtyard. Suddenly, Leo appeared and dropped to his knees before me. "Sir, I'm begging you, please let me have Sarah," he pleaded. "You have everything in the world. All I have is her. Please, I'm begging you, let her go." I stared at him, stunned. This was different from my past life. Could it be that Leo had been reborn too? Just then, Sarah rushed out. The sight of Leo kneeling made her eyes blaze with fury. She hauled him to his feet and glared at me, her voice dripping with venom. "Damien, how long are you going to keep tormenting him? Just because he's the housekeeper's son, you think you can treat him like this?" A sharp, familiar pain lanced through my chest. It was always like this, in both lifetimes. Sarah never, ever believed me. She shot daggers at me. "I'm telling you, even if you choose me as your wife, I will never submit. You won't have me." An icy chill seeped into my bones, as if I'd been plunged into a frozen lake. The memories of my death swirled in my head. I had let them be together in my past life precisely because I knew she would never choose me. And still, the dull ache in my heart persisted. Before I could speak, a van screeched to a halt outside the courtyard gates. Men with guns jumped out and opened fire. Sarah's training kicked in instantly. She moved like lightning, sprinting toward me. But then, Leo let out a pained groan and collapsed, a crimson stain spreading across his pant leg. A flicker of conflict crossed Sarah's face, but it was gone in an instant. Without a second thought, she changed direction, throwing herself over Leo to shield him with her own body. I watched them, and the blood in my veins turned to ice. As one of the gunmen leveled his weapon at me, a figure blurred past, tackling me to the ground. The sound of gunshots echoed around us. When I opened my eyes, I saw who was shielding me. It was Phoebe. Seeing their chance was lost, the assassins retreated. Phoebe got to her feet, an aura of cold fury surrounding her. She glared at Sarah. "Did you forget your mission? What would have happened if the young master had been hurt?" Sarah looked away for a second, a hint of guilt in her eyes, but it was quickly replaced by defiance. "Leo was shot. Who else was going to help him? Besides, Damien's fine, isn't he? What's the big deal?" Phoebe scoffed. "So, you can just abandon your duty to the young master? It seems your obsession with that man has made you forget why Mother took us in the first place." Sarah flinched, clearly aware she had crossed a line. Just then, Leo moaned from her arms. "Sarah, it hurts." Her resolve hardened. "He's not hurt, so it doesn't matter. I need to get Leo to a doctor. We can talk about this later." She lifted Leo into her arms and stormed off. Phoebe's expression was glacial. She turned to me, her eyes burning with frustration and anger. "This is the woman you choose? The one who abandons you at the first sign of trouble?" I shook my head. She didn't know yet. I didn't choose her. Phoebe looked at me, disbelief written all over her face. "Who else would you choose?" For once, she lost her temper with me.